And of course, to start our Monk in the Middle Srimad Bhagavatam class, we should always be in the proper mood, in the mood of request, in the mood of humility. So join me as we recite the invocation mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Utamas Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So still, we are in the conversation ni Sutta Goswami and the sages in Naimisaranya. And we discussed yesterday 5 of the Lila avatars ni Krishna. I will show you a family tree from the Srimad Bhagavatam. This basically the family is the family tree na makikita natin for the creation. And I will show you also tonight yung time time relativity from Lord Brahma up until na meron tayo ngayon. Ano ba yung mga four yugas na yun? We have the analogy of a human person, a human being. Meron siyang more or less, ideally, 100 years. Pero ngayon, syempre, it was lesser because of the change of lifestyle. Pero in that life, nandun na yung stage na pinanganak siya, toddler, newborn, toddler, tapos adolescent, tapos young adult, tapos older, tapos nandun sa old age. In that span of life niya, nangyari yon. Let's say, abot siya sa old age before he dies. So, in comparison sa um, life ng isang dog, ano ba yung lifespan ng dog? Sabihin natin may 13 years. I'm not quite sure, pero let's say 13 years. Pag na-witness mo yung dog, ganun din. So, 1 year siya na puppy siya. Tapos maging adult kagad siya, 1 year or 2 years old. Tapos andun na, pwede siya magkaroon ng family, pwede siya magkaroon ng um, other, um, minsan in span of few years, magiging lolo na siya. Tapos makikita mo yung dog na tumatanda na, makikita mo yung dog na is on the old age, tapos may mga sakit na siya, up until he will pass away. Let's say, kung umabot nga siya sa old age, 10 to 13 years old. So in that span, parang 10% or 1/10 lang nung sa human being. Ganun din if you compare sa ibang insects. Insects would last days or weeks. And yung ibang bacteria, pag tinignan mo, they would last few minutes. Pero in that span of life, nangyayari na lahat. If we go bigger, ganun din sa mga ibang living being. The turtles, meron silang 200 years, pero same din. So other living beings, non-moving, ganun din yung tree. They could last hundreds and thousands of years. So ayun yung mga tinatawag nating time relativity. Si Einstein may theory dito sa time relativity na to. Pero I'll show you one illustration. So, ang maganda sa scriptures kasi maraming mga scholars that they're trying to illustrate. This is one example ng illustration ng time. For us to be able to understand, bakit nga ba yung iba is, pag lalo sa scriptures, they're meditating for 10,000 years. Ba't ganito? Ba't si Lord Brahma, ang tagal, ilang millions of years yung babuhay niya? So, You could search it in Google as well. Pero basically ito 'yon. And makikita natin sa scriptures palagi 'to, para di tayo malito. This is one illustration. This is the life of Lord Brahma. Though again, going back, si Mahavishnu, one breath lang niya yung lalabas na mga universes. Tas mangyayari na lahat doon. Isang life na ni Lord Brahma yun. Pag inhale niya, tapos na uli. Annihilation na uli. So that's the complete creation and annihilation. Meron ding partial. So ito, this is life of Brahma. Yung whole lifespan niya to. So that is, in comparison sa solar years natin, 311.04 trillion years. Then, ayun yung lifespan ni Lord. Sa kanya, 100 years lang yon. 100 years yung life ni Lord Brahma. So, kung nakikita niyo ito, ngayon, sa life ni Lord Brahma, nasa tanghali niya tayo, nasa middle niya tayo ng life ni Lord Brahma. So, dito siya. Yung tinatawag na day ni Lord Brahma, one kalpa. So, kung mahilig yung mga tao sa astrology, saka sa mga cosmology, ito yun. One kalpa or one day ni Brahma, same to sa one night. One day pa lang to, hindi to 24 hours. So, merong 4.432 or 4 point, I'm not quite sure. So, medyo malabo. So, 32 billion years. Yung one day ni Lord Brahma. Day pa lang yun, ha. So, nakikita nyo dito, may night pa. So may tinatawag na partial annihilation, partial creation. So, puntahan natin yan in a while. So, sa whole day ni Lord Brahma, ito nga, nasa tanghali niya tayo, sa gitna niya tayo ng araw niya. Bawat bar na to, may tinatawag na manbantaras or manu. Sila yung mga manager if in these modern times na mga position. Or manbantara, kasama rin sa mga progenitors or parang mga ninuno nun. In one manbantara, may isang manu dyan. Meron siyang 306.72 million years. Itong years na madami na ito, kinukompare sa meron tayo ngayon. Pero of course, kay Lord Brahma, parang sandali lang yan. Moment lang niya yan. So, isang manbantara yan. Isang manbantara, meron siyang 71 Dvija yugas or 71 yung mga yugas na Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Nangyayari to or Chatur Yuga. So, isang portion na ito, may isang rotation na itong yuga na to. Dito tayo sa Kali Yuga. So, sa Satya Yuga, may 1.7 to 728 million years. Tapos sa Treta Yuga, 1.296. So, paunti na paunti. Dwapara Yuga, dito yung time nila Krishna. At far nung end na to. Kung nakikita nyo, may mga few barses. Kasi meron niya mga transition. Hindi siya, bukas, ito na yung Yuga. May transition siya. Dwapara Yuga, 864,000 years. Ito yung Kali Yuga, 432,000 years. And nasa Kali Yuga lang tayo, nasa 5,000 years pa tayo. So there is still 428,000 years pa sa Kali Yuga. Bago siya bumalik sa Satya Yuga in this next Manvantara. So this is time relativity. So bakit ini-discuss to? Kasi ganun ka detailed yung Srimad Bhagavatam. Ganun makikita natin yung supremacy ni Krishna. Ganun makikita natin yung supremacy nung yung powers saka yung advancement din ng position ng mga demigods. So, pupuntahan natin yung mga nasa Srimad Bhagavatam, makikita natin nag-a-appear sila in different minsan kalpas or different manvantara pala, I mean. Kasi every kalpa, mauulit lang din siya. Si Lord Krishna himself will appear every day kay Lord Brahma. So, dito siya, nag-appear siya sa atin. Dito lang siya, oh. Napakalapit lang yun. In other manvantara, hindi basta-basta mag-appear si Krishna on this. So, naabutan natin siya just 5,000 years. So, next day ni Lord Brahma, andun din. So, yan, umihirap na umihirap. Nasa chapter 3 pa lang tayo. Mas mahirap ba to 3 na kaysa sa Masteral? So, yung next natin, sige, I'll show you ito. Mas, ano to, mas madali maintindihan. This is what you call, ay, hindi. This is, bago tayo pumunta dun sa family tree, ito lang, this is just a clearer vision ng mga years. So, time ni Lord Brahma. Tapos, much more, ano lang to, nakafocus lang sa years. Yan. I'll forward this sa group chat. So, there's no chance para maging totoo yung Big Bang Theory lang. The creation is very detailed kung paano ginawa ni Krishna. Ito. And yung lifetimes ng mga personalities, ganun din. So, dito tayo sa may Kali Yuga. So, ito yung mga transitional stage lang din yan. So, enough of this. I'll show you. This is very important kasi ito yung family tree. Ay, laki pala nito. I have to expand. So again, Krishna is the supreme personality of God. He is the fountainhead. Siya niya nanggaling yun. This is Srimad Bhagavatam family tree. So, yung Manvantara or Manu, ito yon mga to. Sila yung mga Manu. After Lord Brahma, sila yung mga Manu. So, ito yung history. Paano nagkaroon ng yung na-progenate yung mga tao. So, bawat halos Manu, bumababa si Krishna. So, ito, pinag-usapan natin si Kabila. Diba? Ito yung last na discuss natin. And furthermore, di-discuss natin sila Yagna. Tapos, si Prito Maharaj, di-discuss natin to. Tapos hanggang mag-forward na yan. Hanggang ito, makikita mo na nandito sila. Ito yung mga sila Pandavas, sila Arjuna, sila Sahadev, nasa lower left. Yan. Nandito si Krishna sa side na to. Vasudev yung tatay niya, kaya Om Namo Vasudeva. Ito yung dad niya, pangalan nun. Asawa ni Vasudev, kapatid ni Vasudev, I mean, si Kunti. Ito yung nanay nila, Pandavas. Kaya magpinsan si Arjuna sa si Krishna. And marami to. Ito yung lang yung mga prominent na mga tao. And madalas, halos lahat dito is you would know the stories in the scriptures, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So there's no way na inimbento lang siya ng isang tao ang scriptures. Hindi kaya ng mind ng tao to create this. Even those who are really an author, magaling gumawa ng novels, or yung mga directors or writers, hindi na basta-basta magagawa to. And all the evidence that you could see in geographical places na nandun talaga sila. Even the names, even the temples, even like yung Kurukshetra, pag pumunta ka, andun talaga yung Kurukshetra, kung saan nangyari yung war sa Bhagavad Gita. So this map will help us to understand then paano yung relation. Yan. So, don't be overwhelmed kahit medyo overwhelming. Nasa introduction pa lang tayo ng Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we would understand more. In the, anong verse na tayo? 11th verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, Creation, chapter 3, entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnation. Text number 11. The sixth incarnation of the Purusha was the son of the sage Atri. Ayan, sige. Pakit. Show ko ulit para medyo Ayan, nandito si Atri. Nakita ko lang siya kahapon eh. So anyway, basahin mo natin. He was born from the womb of Anasuya, who prayed for an incarnation. He spoke on the subject of transcendence to Alarka, Prahlad, and others. So, ang parents niya si Atris saka Anasuya. So, yan. And, nagdasal sila na, saglit lang, ito si Nara Narayan, si Yagna, di-discuss pa lang natin to, si Dakshin. So, sige, hanapin natin si ano. Anyway, mamaya mahanap natin yan. So, nagdasal siya, yung parents niya, sila Atri na, mag, maging anak niya, sila Lord. Pero this is a combination ng Guna avatars. Si Lord Brahma, si Shiva, saka si Vishnu. So, ito siya. Yan. Pangalan niya is Dattatreya. Dattatreya is a three-headed incarnation. This is Dattatreya. Si Lord Vishnu, kung nakita yung mga hawak nila, very prominent. Hawak ni Lord Vishnu yung chakra, yung conch shell, yung lotus leaf. Tapos si Lord Brahma, dun din. And si Lord Shiva, hawak niya itong, nakalimutan ko yung drum na tawag na dito. Tapos yung trident. So yung may snake si Lord Shiva ngayon. So yung tatlong Guna avatars, Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Vishnu, was born into a combination ni Dattatreya. And marami siyang in the disciplic succession sa different personalities siya yung nag-instruct ng philosophy of the souls and also the way of transcendence. So ngayon nakikilala natin yung mga nakikita niyo sa mga internet sa Instagram. Dattatreya. This is Dattatreya. In the next verse, the seventh incarnation was Yagna. So Yagna, the son of Prajapati Ruchi and his wife Akuti. He controlled the period during the change of the Swayambhuva Manu and was assisted by the demigods such as his son Yama. So, Swayambhuva Manu, ito yon, bago mag-transition, pinanganak si Yagna. Ito, si Yagna. Incarnation of Krishna. During this time, kasi bawat change ng Manu may partial annihilation. So, nawawala lang yung, then magkakaroon ulit ng creation. Partial lang yun, not the whole. Krishna. Yan, I'm back. So, you could hear me? So, yes, during this time, si Lord Brahma, is a position. May mga pangalan yung nagpupunta sa position ni Lord Brahma. So, minsan, in this transition ng mga manus, walang mag-take ng position, wala pang qualified or wala pang ready to take that position of Lord Brahma. So, what happened is, ang ginagawa ni Krishna, si Krishna mismo, yung nag-take over in that position. He could expand himself and do that duty. So, kaya yung isang incarnation niya is si Yagna. So, let's move on. Text 13. Again, Lila Avatars of Krishna, i-discuss siya further. Yung mga pastimes and lessons, wisdoms, i-discuss siya further sa Srimad Bhagavatam. Text number 13. The eighth incarnation was King Rishava, son of King Nabi, and his wife Meru Devi. In this incarnation, the Lord showed the path of perfection, which is followed by those who have fully controlled their senses and who are honored by all orders of life. So dito it was discussed by Srila Prabhupada and exemplified by Lord Rishava Dev's lives. Life is yung four Varna ashram, the Varna ashram system, the four Varna and the four ashram. You could call it the four divisions of occupation, that is the Varna, and yung cultural advancement. Sorry, that's baliktad. Yung occupation is the ashram, and cultural advancement is the Varna. So those are the intelligence class, administrative class, productive class, and laborers class. In the Sanskrit, ito yung sa occupation, it is mentioned, translation nito is the Sudra, the Vaishya, the Kshatriya, and the Brahmana. Ito yung mga Varna or occupation. Intelligence class, nakafocus yung life nila sa intelligence. Sila yung mga Brahmana. And the Kshatriyas, they're focusing on administrative and leadership. They prevent harm. Sila rin yung mga soldiers. Kings, yung mga nagiging king. Sila yung mga nagiging leaders. That is the Kshatriyas. Sila Arjuna, mga Kshatriya sila. We have the productive class. Sila yung mga Vaishyas, mga businessmen. And you have the laborers. So these are the four division ng occupation or Varna. Anong position nila sa society? The administrative or sa Kshatriyas are leading the countries or the society. They are being guided by the Brahmanas. So yung mga ginagawa ng mga leaders should be under ng mga scriptures. So ang mga advisors nila is mga Brahmanas. And the Kshatriyas always protect the other three. So this is the Varna. Some are using this as a license for discrimination or the caste system, the perverted caste system. Pagiging racist or ayun nga, by social orders. But no, it has different functions that will help the society as a whole and also protective in each other. So we have also the four cultural advancement, a student life or brahmachari, the householder life, that will be the griyasta. So sila may mga family. Most of most of you pala here in the call are griyastas. The retired life or vanaprastha, and the renounced order or the sannyasi. These are the four cultural advancement. So this one is usually they start as a student life, brahmacharis. Some after being a brahmachari, student life, they would go or decide to become full brahmachari na dire-diretso buong buhay nila, or some will transition to grihasta. So from a monk, they could be they could have a family life, or they could continue being a monk. So yung mga nasa family life, after na family life, they would have the retirement sa family life. Then they would be renounced. Yung brahmachari could continue hanggang maging sannyasi siya, or just brahmachari diretso the whole life. The Grihasta supports the other three. Kasi yung Grihasta yung um, usually we have the license to work, focus on other material things. These other three are focusing on spirituality. They would also guide the Grihasta. So it's a relationship, give and take. So having these social orders and the occupations and the Varna and Ashram helps the society to live in harmony. Everyone has his own position, nature, and uniqueness. So the Srimad Bhagavatam have this guidance. So King Rishabhadev is one of the um, examples who live this life. So it was discussed here by Srila Prabhupada also the renounced order of life. There are different kinds of sannyasis, and the highest is Paramahamsa. And King Rishabhadev also live his life and taught kung paano yung spiritual advancement. Kasi people are always looking for happiness. Basically, yung tao sa paligid natin, the society are always looking forward in advancing para meron silang performance ng um, sense gratification or sa happiness. Pero, having this guidance, we would know ano yung real eternal happiness, unlimited happiness, is only through self-realization, spiritual realization. Kasi, it is compared, lahat ng sense gratification, lahat ng happiness na hinaharap ng mga normal na tao, materialistic person, are also could be found na ginagawa ng mga animals. Same. Eating, mating, defending, and sleeping. Those four. The self-realization, di magagawa ng animals yun. You cannot ask him to chant and meditate. Yeah, there are pastimes si Lord Chaitanya, pinachant niya yung mga dogs. But that's him because he's the supreme. But generally, the dogs will just follow his nose. Ang boss niya yung senses niya. Diba? He walks nose first. And pwede siya ma-aksidente. Squirrel! Diba? Nadidistract siya pag may squirrel. Alam ko cartoons yun eh. Anyway, so ganun sila. Ganun yung aso. Some dogs could go missing for days just to hunt the rabbit. Ganun ka-strong yung sense niya. More than pa sa tao. So, yung way of satisfaction ng buhay nila is pag na-satisfy yung senses nila. The rest, walang self-realization. They have to go on the process para maging tao muna sila. Then, they could have this consciousness and facility to perform and go to the path of self-realization or Krishna consciousness. So yan. I mean, the tanong ni Jonah, ano daw yung, of course, in the practicing of Krishna consciousness. I'm in the brahmachari order. My ashram is brahmachari. Student. Yan. Si Guru Maharaj, though, sila yung mga sannyasis. If there are sannyasis, mostly name nila hindi na dasa. Mostly is Goswami or Swami. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Giridhari Swami, Jayapatak Swami. And if one aspires, of course, meron ding, in some cases, meron ding mga grihasta that are allowed to receive disciples. Just like yung si Bhakti Vinod Thakur, hindi siya sannyas, pero pwede sila maging guru. Nasa scriptures yun. Pero generally, sannyasis are the gurus. One could not take disciples if buhay pa yung guru niya. There are some instances, some very little lang, pero it should be allowed by the guru sadhus. So that's an offense. having disciples as yung living pa yung guru. So that's why others, you could see the other practices, um, makita niyo yung genuinity ng group na to or yung sect na to or yung practice na to. If they didn't follow the scriptures and mga Vaishnava etiquette, mga etiquette na yun. So, if one aspires sa isang guru, maging dictionary guru na lang, or if guru nila talaga yon, they call the sannyasis or the Grihastha guru as Guru Maharaj. And if one is addressing another sannyasi or another guru, Grihastha guru, and hindi siya yung guru niya directly, they could call them Maharaj. So your aspiring guru or your direct Diksha guru, we call them Guru Maharaj. So you will notice a devotee, oh, he calls that sannyasi Guru Maharaj. It means siya yung disciple siya nun. Then the other sannyasis, when we address them, we don't address them as Prabhus. We address them as Maharaj without the guru. In the 14th text, translation, O Brahmanas, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord prayed for, sorry, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord prayed for by sages, accepted the body of a king, he is Pritu, that's the name, who cultivated the land to yield various produces. And for that reason, the earth was beautiful and attractive. He is King Pritu, or we call Pritu Maharaj. In this family tree, andito siya sa, hanapin natin siya. Ito, here. Pritu Maharaj. So, Swayambhuva na Manu sa mga anak niya. Si Utanapad sa mga progenitors galing Sakshusha Manu. May transition. Tapos, andun si Pritu Maharaj. So, Pritu Maharaj, he is exemplified sa sobrang special na um, Raja Rishi or Saintly King. Ano yung reason bakit siya naging sobrang special? Ano yung mga um, special na ginawa niya? Sino yung mga na-please niya na personalities? He even pleased Lord Vishnu sa kanyang leadership. He was praised by Lord Vishnu. This is a great pastime. Lord Shiva became envious kay Pritu Maharaj. Then, si Lord Vishnu was pleased kung paano hinandle ni King Pritu Maharaj yung pagiging envious ni Lord Shiva. Ang gandang pastime to. They call it the 100 Rajasuya sacrifice. 100 horse sacrifice. So we will discuss that further. Nasa fourth canto ang pastime ni Pritu Maharaj. But he is a king, an ideal king, ideal leader. Yung mga leadership na mga stories and lessons, it was exemplified by Krishna in the form ng kanyang avatar na si Pritu Maharaj. And mostly yung mga leaders ng society, ng mga brahmanas, ng spirituality, they get the leadership quality. They want to follow the footsteps ni Pritu Maharaj. Kasi sobrang sobrang perfect. But si Pritu Maharaj, sobrang special nito. Yung dad niya, not so perfect Brahman, leader. Ito yun. Si Vina, King Vina. He is a demoniac king na gusto niya itigil lahat ng mga offering worships kay Krishna. Gusto niya mapunta sa kanya. And sabi, di ba, sila yung mga Kshatriyas, may mga advisors sila ng mga Brahmanas, ng mga saintly persons. They were guiding the kings. Pero this king is not protecting the other three, but he is trying to abuse, take advantage, take for granted yung mga bagay na meron din doon. And at the end, the options were exhausted. The Brahmanas killed King Vina by the power of their mantras. They recite mantras, and they killed Vina. And from Vina, yung sa dead body niya, um, the yung dead body niya, it is not like decaying. They extracted Prito Maharaj there. So yung bad and good qualities ni Vina, pinaghiwalay nila. Si Prito Maharaj sa yung kapatid niya. Tapos yung kapatid niya nilagay nila sa sinishada, sinful race. Ito yun. Nasa forest sila. Pero yung good qualities na meron sa line ni Vina, nakuha nila sila Prito Maharaj. So hindi natin magagawa yun ngayon. Those are different times. They have the perfect mantras. And meron sila mga fire sacrifice. Tapos they offer animals. Pero why they do it? Pag nilagay nila yung animal doon for that sacrifice, and to check yung mga mantras perfectly recited, yun, saka mga qualified yung mga nandun, very pure in their lives. Yung animals na nilagay nila doon, they will come back. Ganun ka-powerful yun. Hindi na mamatay. They will come back in the new form of body ng animal na yun. If hindi perfect, hindi mangyayari yun. So yung mga tao, ginawang excuse yun para mag-meat eating. They will, animal sacrifices that will eat. Ano yung isa sa history about paano nangyari yung mga meat eating na yun. Then of course, si Lord Buddha bumaba. Nasa ano yun, pang ilang ba siyang incarnation. Basta matagal pa siya after the Lord Balaram and Krishna. That's one of his propagation is ahimsa, non-violence. Huwag niyo sundin yung mga fire sacrifices na yan, sabi ni Lord Buddha. Kasi na-misuse na ng mga tao. Don't follow the Vedas. Ganun sabi niya. Then he propagated in personally. Para bumalik uli sa Vedas yung mga tao. Parang ni-restart niya. Ayun yung purpose ni Krishna ba't na-incarnate siya kay Lord Buddha. Anyway, to connect lang. So, si Prito Maharaj did this other sacrifices, Rajasuya sacrifices for the benefit ng humanity. Then, doon nagkaroon ng pastime na na-please niya si Lord Vishnu. Handling things kasi ang envy sa kanya si Lord Shiva. But he did handle yung situation very ideally, spiritually, and exemplary. So, one of the great leaders siya sa world creation. And of course, si Krishna yun eh. In the 15th incarnation, in the 15th text, the next incarnation is, in translation, when there was a complete inundation after the period of Chakshashu. Ito yun. Surely natin. Ito pa tinanggal. After the period of Chakshashu Manu and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vaishvata Manu, keeping him on a boat. So, Chakshashu Manu, ito yung Manu, then may partial annihilation papunta sa Vaishvata Manu. Then, yung earth is submerged sa water. And it was protected by Krishna himself. Nag-incarnate siya in the form ng fish. His name is Mascha. So na yun. This is Krishna as the form of a fish. Parang wala akong let's see if meron akong picture na papakita sa inyo. Wala akong fish na. So his incarnation as a fish to protect the earthly plane. In the 16th text, the 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of a tortoise, whose shall serve as a pivot of the Mandarachala hill, which was being used as a churning rod by the theists and atheists of the universe. So ito magandang story to. I'll show you a very nice picture. This is the churning of the um yan, the churning pastime and different incarnation ni Krishna yun nandito. Kailangan natin palitan to para makita niyo lahat. So yung mga theists and atheists, sila yung mga demons and demigods. And the demigod Varuna was the rope, siya yung snake. And ito si Kurma, siya yung tortoise. Nasa taas niya si Mandarachala Hill. Ito yung pivot. Ito yung parang, kung mag-turn ka, ito yung parang stick. Tapos may rope. Tapos habang hinahatak siya, nakiikot yun. Ikot yung churning rod na yun. Tapos nasa-churn yung ocean. Anong purpose ginawa nila yun? Tutuloy natin sa text 17. In the 12th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Dhanvantari. So that's the other incarnation. Ito yon si Dhanvantari nasa taas. Siya yung may hawak na pot. Siya yung kukuha, doon ilalagay yung matcha-churn nila na nectar from the ocean. Ano yung kukunin nilang nectar? Is the nectar that would make one deathless. Pag ininom nila yon. Siya yung, si Dhanvantari, hilig ni, ni Tree na to. Si Dhanvantari is the deity ng Ayurveda. Ng health. So, they turned this ocean, sa kabilang side yung mga demons, sa kabilang side yung mga demigods. Dhanvantari yung may hawak na pot. When they got the nectar, may drop of that nectar fell into the earth. Alam ko 3 drops yon. And ayun yung na-fall sa Ganges River and other rivers. And they celebrate that as the biggest in the whole world na festival. Kumbh Mela Festival. And isang purpose nun is remembrance of Krishna, of course. At the same time, it brings optimum health sa body rin. Because andun yung drop ng mga nectar na yon. Pero, nung nakuha na nila yung nectar na yon, nalagay na sa pot. So, bigyan ko yan ng picture ni Dhanvantari. This is Dhanvantari. Siya yung may pot na to. So, kung nakikita niyo siya, dyan nilagay yung nectar. Ang nangyari is, inagaw ng mga demons. So, demons nga. Inagaw nila kay Dhanvantari. So, nasa kanila yung mga, yung nectar na yon. So, pag nainom ng mga demons to, they will be immortal. Deathless. Hindi naman totally immortal kasi they will still die. Pero, it's like a form of being deathless. Sobrang tagal ng life nila. They will rule material creation. And Krishna, bumaba siya uli. Continuation sa text 17. In the 13th incarnation, he allured the atheists by charming them. Sorry. In the 13th, he allured the atheists by the charming beauty of a woman and gave nectar to the demigods to drink. So, para makuha nila yung pot ng mga nectar na to sa mga demons, si Krishna bumaba as Mohini Murti. Sobrang ganda ni Mohini Murti. Para mabawi nila sa mga demons. Siyempre, yung mga demons, very lusty. Na-allured sila ni Krishna in the form of a Mohini Murti. So, para makuha nila yung nectar na yun, mabigyan nila sa mga demigods. Even Lord Shiva was allured by Mohini Murti. So, yan. May pastime pa nga nito na when she gave the pot na 'to ta's inumin ng mga demigods. May isang demon na nagpanggap na demigod. So when he was drinking the nectar, na-realize nila na demon siya. Then they have to cut the head ng demon na yun para hindi niya malunok. Kasi magiging deathless yung demon na yun. That head, so naputol siya. Lumipad na yung head na yun. Pero, nandun na yung nectar. The body died, pero naging deathless yung head niya. Siya yung Rahu. The Rahu planet. So sa cosmology, siya yung kumakain sa moon during eclipse. Kaya very inauspicious yung mga eclipse. That's the Rahu planet. Siya yung nagpanggap. So, onting mga history. Though we will discuss this also. Yung mga yan. So that's Mohini Murti. Yes, wala sinabi na 13th. In the SB book ko, walang 13th. Nasa ano yun? Text 17 Sha Mataji. Magkasama yung 12th incarnation and yung 13th incarnation. Kita mo? Yan. Sa text 17. Oh, yan. Okay. In the text 19, 18, text 18, the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Nishinga and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nails, just as a carpenter pierces Cain. So, ganun ka detailed yung mga incarnation ni Krishna. Kaya tandaan nyo, si Four Kumaras, pinigilan sila nung dalawang doorkeeper ni Krishna, ni Lord Vishnu. Then, they were cursed. So, when they were cursed, nagkaroon sila ng option na ipapanganak sila as 7 times as devotees or 3 times lang, pero as demons. So, there some reasons bakit nila pinili yung pagiging demons kasi ayoko tumagal lang hindi ako naggagawa ng devotional service kahit devotee ako. Very attached sila kay Lord Vishnu. So, yung 3 times na as demons. And gusto nila i-fulfill din si Krishna may desire to fight, to have this sporting pastime. Siyempre, sino yung best na pwedeng makalaban niya? Devotees din. Pero hindi normal demon. Sila yung best demon. So, mga devotees din. Only the devotees could be the best demon. Sabi niya. So, Hiranyakashipu is one of them. And si Nishingadev is yung 14th incarnation ni Krishna. Siya yung half lion na incarnation ni Krishna. We often pray Nishingadev prayers for protection kasi si Nishingadev is the protector of devotees as well. He protected Prahlad Maharaj, his devotees. So usually, kasama sa morning programs natin yung we sing Nishingadev prayers. And devotees, when they travel, they drive, they are in danger, they sing or they recite Nishingadev mantras. So if you want to know that, chat nyo si Navadip Chandra Prabhu. Yan. Ask kayo ng MP3 or file to listen paano yung tune ng Nishingadev mantras. And also yung kung paano yung tono nun. So in the 19th incarnation, text 19th, in the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana. Ang name niya is Vamana. And visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaj Bali. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary systems, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land. So si Vamana, dwarf incarnation sa ni Krishna. Maliit lang. He's also a brahmachari. Ang pastime nito, sobrang shortcut lang. Bali Maharaj is a demon, but very strong demon. Na yung all creation in the material world, lower planetary system, even the demigods, yung mga trono nila doon, nasakop ng mga demon na 'to. Si Bali Maharaj yung head nila. But hindi siya yung demon lang na walang culture. He knows he has also a spiritual master. He has a guru, of course, not in the line of worshiping Krishna. Then they have etiquettes as well. If there is a brahmana or a brahmachari that visits your house, the custom is you serve the brahmachari, you serve the brahmana because they are beggars. What do they beg? For that person na maging Krishna conscious. And reciprocation, the people, the grihastas, those who are like this, the kings, will give reciprocation para matuloy-tuloy niya. To maintain himself, also matuloy-tuloy niya yung mga preaching activities niya. So that's the culture. In the Philippines, di natin masyado makikita yon or talagang wala sa kultura natin. In the other countries, may mga traces pa nito. In Taiwan, in Japan, China, medyo wala na talaga. Pero gato yung ano nila sa mga monks and mga saintly person. In India, of course, it's very prominent. So, bakit nag-garb as Brahmana, as dwarf Brahmana si Lord Vamana o si Krishna? So, pinuntahin si Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj offered him, ano yung gusto mo? Ano yung pwede ko ma-offer sa'yo? Then sabi ni Vamana Dave, nothing else, I just want 3 steps of land. Sabi ni Bali Maharaj, oh, pa 3 steps lang. Ako ngayon yung nag-reign dito sa world na to. In the 3 worlds. Kasama yung heavenly planets doon. I could even give you a planet. No, sabi ni Bali Maharaj, no, I just only need 3 steps of land. Ayun yung kailangan, ayun yung gusto ko, ayun yung kailangan ko. Okay then. So, binigay ni Bali Maharaj. But, Vamana Dave, the incarnation of Krishna, lumaki siya ng todo-todo. Yung first step niya, nasakop na niya yung material world. Second step niya, yung spiritual world. Yung third step niya, hindi niya alam kung saan nalagay. Sabi niya kay Bali Maharaj, I've taken my 2 steps already. Ngayon, saan ko lalagay yung third step ko? And since Bali Maharaj, even demon siya, he has his own word. Kailangan niyang panindigan yun. Sabi niya, you can put your third step in my head. He surrendered to Krishna. So, short story yun. Mahabang magandang story din yun. Si Vamana Dev, you can see him. Very little dwarf Brahmana. So, bigay pa tayo ng onting before we end. In the 19th text, the 16th incarnation of Godhead, the Lord Brigupati, annihilated the administrative class, yung mga Kshatriyas. So, di ba, ito yung mga Kshatriyas, 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class. Di ba yung mga Brahmanas nagagay dun sa mga Kshatriyas? Pero there were times, until now, yung mga leaders are not, are rebelling against the Brahmanas. It means they're rebelling against the scriptures. They want to lead the society demonically, atheistically. So si Krishna bumaba as a Brahmana, pero he will kill the Kshatriyas in 21 times, 21 generations. His name is Parasuram. So if you search Parasuram, siya yung incarnation ni Krishna na may axe. Pinupugutan niya yung mga ulo yung mga Kshatriyas. Search, maganda yung picture na to. So si Parasuram din yung palaging, siya rin yung guru na madaming soldiers. Avatar. Because of the disobedience ng mga Kshatriyas, kailangan tanggalin sila sa position. Kasi they're not qualified, at the same time, they will bring disturbance sa society. And sino yung best na pwedeng makapagtanggal sa kanila? Si Krishna himself. He killed all of them. I'll show you yung ano nila. So the creator and even the annihilator is also Krishna in the form of Parasuram. Siya yun. 21 times. Sabi ni Prabhupada, whenever there is a disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas or administrative class against the order of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, the administrator are removed by force from the posts and arrangement is made for better administration. So malaki yung responsibility ng mga leaders and kings. And also, malaki yung responsibility ng mga Brahmanas. The Kshatriyas should listen sa mga advisors nila, which should be the Brahmanas. Because it will be the guide para maging spiritual yung leadership nila. So last na discuss natin for today. Oh, sakto. In the 21st text, thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parasara Muni, and he divided one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing the people in general were less intelligent. So si Vyasadeva, yung compiler ng Vedas, is also Krishna. Originally, there's one Veda, one scripture, and it was being just passed down from guru to disciple. But people are being less intelligent, so they have to write it in the book, compile it in the book, and he divided it into 4. Sama, Yajur, Rig, and Atharva Veda. And meron din siyang sinulat ng mga different branches nun, kasama yung Puranas, yung history and stories, and Mahabharat. Mahabharat, sa gitna nun yung Bhagavad Gita. So why? Kasi people are being, they're less intelligent. They don't even read. They are, they don't want to develop the quality of Brahminical quality. They just want sense gratification. So they are doing yung for regulation na follow natin. They're not even doing that. So it is just a guidance muna for regulation para maging human being. What more pa yung i-follow and to understand the Vedas. People will always speculate mga bagay na meron sa kanila. Itong grupo na to, itong following na to, itong discovery na to, itong conspiracy theory na to. People are always like that. Gusto nilang mag-invento, mag-speculate, mag-propagate ng mga other groups and other things. They don't want to follow the scriptures. But basically, kahit ano yung invento nila ngayon, the root cause, makikita pa rin nila yon nasa scriptures. So, what a waste of time putting the life ng tao into a lifestyle na just made up by the common society. This grupo, this ism, this something, the only practice that one should do is to become Krishna conscious. And all the guidance you can find in the scriptures. Even different positions, social orders, or occupation. Sino nag-lead nun? Si Krishna himself by his incarnation. That is one reason why Krishna reigns supreme. Ganon detalyado yung Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's how we will benefit from it. Nice, sabi ni Meron. Sana kung may mga available video presentation ang Srimad Bhagavatam. Sana, even the Mahabharat, sabi nga namin yung mga devotees, sana may mga magaling na maggawa ng movie to explain this. Pero of course, hindi lang sa 3 hours. Maraming sequel to. So, ang ganda sa movie nun. But of course, there's this, nilokohan namin, there's this Mahabharat na series na ginawa ng Bollywood. I think this was during the 80s. And yung mga effects noon, alam mo yung parang para maging malaki yung isang character na sa malapit siya na camera, yung maliit na sa malayo. Yung ganong effects. Nakakasira siya ng vision and imagination while reading the book. Di ba, when you're reading, sobrang ganda ng action, sobrang ganda ng mga character. Kasi because it was being in detailed na sinulat dun sa libro, sa scriptures. Then pag pinanood mo, bakit ganun yung pagkaka-explain nila? Di ba? Hindi, parang hindi, ano, hindi naman parang powerful yung dating. Yung mga effects ng mga powers, ng ching, gumagano. Tapos yung sound effect. Makikita mo kinat yung film. So, maybe in the future, may mga magagaling na mga producer na magawa to. We're looking forward. We're looking forward para this could be explained further. Yeah, kasi one thing, people are less intelligent. We cannot get that. We need visuals. Bakit tayo may mga pictures? Bakit tayo may mga... Yung nag-uusap sila Suta Goswami sa Anaymi Saranya, wala naman silang projector doon eh. Di ba? They were just telling. They were drinking through the ears. And because of their intelligence, they would understand and realize better. So only by the help ng ating mga spiritual master, ng ating mga senior devotees, for us to be able to understand these scriptures. Hindi siya madali, hindi siya instant. That's why chanting is always there, doing the sadhana. Pansinin nyo, habang maganda yung sadhana natin, mas naiintindihan natin yung scriptures. Para sa mga susi sa different gates. If you're chanting, if you're doing the four directive principles, mas naintindihan natin yung scriptures, na-realize natin. Krishna is helping us. Even those scholars could not really understand this. They will just think based on their fragmentality, frag in the well mentality. Based on kung paano nila ma-perceive yung paligid. No? Ito talaga yung awakening from what we are being illusioned na in-offer ni Maya sa atin. So thank you very much. Itutuloy natin yung mga incarnation ni Krishna. We still have one, two, three, four more. Si Ramachandra, King Ramachandra, Krishna and Balaram, Buddha and Kalki. Si Kalki yung last na mababa dito sa incarnation. So si Buddha, before pa dumating si Buddha rito, nasa scriptures. Actually, before bumaba si Krishna rito, nasa scriptures na lahat na mababa sila. So wala makaka-claim na, incarnationally ako. Wala siya sa scriptures. So yung next na bababa pala dito si Kalki. So kailan siya mag-incarnate ulit? Maabutan kaya natin? We will know tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in sa ating Monk in the Middle podcast. I hope napasabog natin yung utak natin, na mind blown tayo because of this time relativity, this Srimad Bhagavatam 3, yung progenitors natin and yung line ng mga ninuno natin in very great details. And of course, yung mga stories. Short story ni Krishna and yung incarnation niya as the LILA Avatars. I am your servant and host, Radha Charandas. And I will see you again, I think later today, 11 o'clock. And more to come, of course, tomorrow. Maraming salamat. Be Krishna conscious, chant your rounds, and read Srila Prabhupada books. Granted Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you.